John Kerry. John Kerry was on CBS News this weekend, and it was funny because, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I felt like the CBS correspondent was like, this is a great hook for us. Will John Kerry apologize to the Iranians about the letter that the Republicans sent? Because you know how the whole right-wing meme is that the Obama administration does nothing but apologize to our enemies. And so this is sort of like almost a trick question. Will you apologize on behalf of the Republicans? Here is John Kerry sounding, I would say, uncharacteristically on top of his game. I'm not saying that he's not on top of his game, but in general, I'm not making an assessment there. I'm just saying that there's not a lot of times where I hear John Kerry say something and go, wow, he sounded very strong and determined and
Fuck you,
right.
Sam.
Boom,
Right.
you just got carried.
There you go.
I don't know. Sometimes, whatever. I'm
Let's
probably
listen
the
to
only
this.
person who likes Kerry. Go ahead.
I like Kerry. I mean, I don't love him, but this is impressive. Number two.
And by the way, this is not just the United States of America negotiating. This is China, Russia, Germany, France, Great Britain.
So how do you clear the air? Are you going to apologize for this letter?
Not on your life. I'm not going to apologize for an unconstitutional and unthought out action by somebody who's been in the United States Senate for 60-some days. That's just inappropriate. I will explain very clearly that Congress does not have the right to change an executive agreement. Another president may have a different view about it. But if we do our job correctly, all of these nations, they all have an interest in making sure this is in fact a proven peaceful program. And it would be derelict if we allow some gaping hole in this program that doesn't do so. But let's see what it is first. And I think this applies to everybody, incidentally, who's been trying to judge this before, in fact, the deal, if it can be sealed, is sealed.
You've made the point this is an international agreement. This isn't just the U.S. and Iran. But Senator Parker, chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, said the decision to bypass Congress and instead go to the UN and allow them to vote on some of this deal is a direct affront to the American people.
Well, with all due
How do you
respect,
respond to
look,
that?
I do really disagree with that judgment, and I talked to him about it the other day and made it clear. We are negotiating under the auspices, to some degree, of the United Nations. So just as Congress has to vote to lift sanctions, so Congress does have a vote, so does the United Nations have to lift some sanctions at some point in time.
Well, that's on sanctions. But to authorize this deal, do you see Congress having a role?
Congress has a role. We have had over 205 briefings, phone calls, discussions with Congress. 119 of them have taken place since January of this year. We have been in full discussion with Congress on this. We've been in full discussion with allies in the region. We have had our team go to Israel or meet with Israelis in Washington or elsewhere to brief them regularly in this process. This isn't, a complete mystery. And the fact is that, but we also have been operating under a rule that everybody understands. Nothing is agreed to until everything is agreed to. And
So there you have it. And so good for Kerry, both. I mean, but you could really see in that question, are we going to apologize? I mean, that was the one time I think I've ever heard John Kerry where I thought that he was just about to say, F no. Fuck no. No. Are you kidding? That guy's an idiot, Tom Cotton.
That was great.